What is up, behavioral artists? Man, that feels good to say. It's been a while. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. You have no idea how much I've missed this. I was supposed to stream outside, but if I showed you outside right now, I think it's like some kind of tornado, some kind of Wizard of Oz event is happening outside my window right now in Las Vegas. But I'm super excited to be here. And we're just going to wait for a few more to show up. I don't know how many people are going to show up to this, but even if it's just a few of us, we will be few but mighty. So welcome to the live stream. This is a behind the scenes look at my life in Las Vegas. I got a whole bunch of clips behind the scenes. I got some interviews. I have some little show clips to show you from the really interesting moments that happened live, some technical mess ups, all kinds of stuff like that. Make sure to hit that like on the way in. That'll be really helping the stream a lot. And honestly, I'm excited to hear from you guys, how you've been. It's crazy how there were a lot of things in this experience that I didn't think I was going to feel, and I did. And one of those things was like, I knew I was going to miss YouTube and the YouTube life and making the videos, but hearing back from the community is something I've missed a lot. Like there were some things that happened in the news or with, celebrities, and that I looked at and I was like, I could see the behaviors, but I was like, I wonder what the community would have thought of all this. So we'll talk about all that stuff, guys. It is crazy outside. I want to show you guys the rental property here. It's awesome, but right now things are flying sideways. So maybe we'll wait for that to calm down before I show you guys that. Cool. So as you guys know, or maybe some of you don't, I've been in Vegas since February. I came here for a residency as part of a show called Limitless, which is one of the biggest shows on the Las Vegas Strip at the Venetian, at the beautiful Palazzo Theater. Some of you know because you came to see it, and we'll talk about that as well. But it's one of the biggest magic shows. It stars Shin Lim, who is a world champion of magic. He won America's Got Talent twice, and he's been a friend of mine for over 18 years. And he called me in because there was a gap in the schedule where he needed, because his show has a host who also does mentalism throughout the show. And there was a gap in the schedule. And he said, why don't you come in and do this? So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of months. And there was a time when I thought I could come and do this to where I could still upload videos. And I think I can. I think there's a way to do that. But the issue with this was because it's my first time doing this really serious residency on the Strip, all my friends, all my family have come in to see it and hang out. So it's not just the show that took up a lot of time. It's the actual socializing and hanging out, and people in Vegas who want to hang out, and clients who are flying in to see the show who want to hang out. So the schedule has been really, really rough, but tons of fun. I'm still here for another 3 weeks. That's important to note. So I'm still here for another 3 weeks, and it's a very busy 3 weeks. I still have a lot of friends and clients and people coming in. But after that, I'm back home. So end of May, I'll be back home. Mid to end May, I'll be back home. Guys, it is crazy outside. I don't know what's happening. The moment I started the stream, the wind outside is insane. I'll show you guys in a minute. But yeah, I'm still here for another 3 weeks. After that, I'll be back. So this summer, I'll be back, and I'll be regularly uploading again. So let's talk about Vegas. We'll talk about schedule and videos and stuff in a minute as well. But let's talk about Vegas. Let me show you guys some stuff here as to what's going on. Also, by the way, for any questions that you might have, if you want guaranteed answers during the stream, use that super chat thing, and then I'll address all of those. But otherwise, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I'll keep an eye on the chat. I might be seeing those as well. So let's talk about Vegas first. So I have all these clips that I want to show you. First, I'm going to show you guys the sort of the theater, the green room. And let me tell you a few of the people you're going to see here. So Shin is the star of the show. Then you have his wife, Casey, who does a lot of the directing and a lot of the organization and pretty much oversees the entire production. And she's part of the show as well. So we won't see her in these clips, but when we talk about Casey, that's who that is, his wife. She also does an act, a very amazing acrobatic, magical act in the show. And then you have Mackenzie Soul. You're going to see him as well. He's the one with the longish blonde hair. He's an American Idol finalist who's also in the show. He's an incredible singer. He does the show with us, and he also has a show at the Virgin Hotel on Thursday nights at a lounge. An incredible singer, very talented. And he also does some magic. You'll see he's passionate about magic. He's learning, and he's really, really good. So here's a behind-the-scenes look at kind of our lives in the green rooms and just the theater and all that stuff. Here we go. I'll mute myself. So welcome to my home, the Palazzo Theater. The casino is right in front of me and I would show you, but it's highly illegal to film casinos in Las Vegas. But this is the theater. Let's take a look. So there it is. You can see here the posters of Shin and the other feature acts who are coming to the theater this month. That's the theater right there, more Shin. Here we have the gift shop where you can buy decks of cards and Shin Lim merch, box office for tickets. And then once you step through, you have the theater. And this is where you would normally go to get to your seats, unless you're in the mezzanine, that's up there, that's the bar. But I'm gonna use my pass, which is here, my mugshot, to go to the staff elevator and go down to the dressing rooms. So that's the hallway that leads to the dressing rooms. And I am right over here. So this is me. This is where I hang out before the show, after the show, that's where I get ready. Private bathroom, wardrobe, all my stuff is here. And we have an awesome wardrobe and costume director. His name is Hiram. He gets everything ready, brings it up to stage. That way, all our stuff is backstage to put on during the show because we have a couple of costume changes. And then down here we have the Hall of Fame. And this is Shin's dressing room. And there is the man himself. Hey, Brooklyn.
Hello.
This is Brooklyn. She is Shin and Casey's personal assistant. And she gets the stuff done. That's what she does. And this is Mackenzie.
My other personal assistant.
Shin's other personal assistant, Mackenzie Soul, who had to go on American Idol.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Hi guys. Okay, Mackenzie, show us your trick.
Okay, come on. Shin, name a card.
What? 6 of hearts.
Okay, watch the center of the box. It's right there.
Whoa.
6 of hearts, baby.
Shin, can we put that in the show?
No, it'll have to be the 9 of hearts.
Can you sing something for us?
Right now?
A cappella? Yeah.
All I want is nothing more to hear you knocking at my door. If I could see your face once more, I could die a happy man now, I'm sure. Bye.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
How come you didn't win American Idol with a voice like that?
Off.
Oopsie, I was muted. Hi, sorry. It's been, as you can see, it's been a while. Sorry, you guys. So that was basically the life when we get there. Is there sound now? We good? We're good? We're good? We're good? Okay, good. Thanks. Sadie's giving me thumbs up. Sorry, guys. It's been a minute. Stage Spidey has taken over. So that's when I get there. That's my life. The first place you saw, that's where I hang out, get ready. And then, you know, sometimes we hang out in Shin's green room. Yeah, somebody mentioned the camaraderie. Yeah, we're like, I tease Mackenzie a little. He'll tease me back. Like we make fun of each other. But at the end of the day, I have such faith in these performers, and they put on such an incredible show. And the thing that I find crazy is that, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I did an interview with Shin, where I go to other Vegas shows and it's these big productions with all these big props, and they fill up that space. And then you look at us, and you have Mackenzie just has a microphone. Casey is doing her acrobatic act. Shin, deck of cards. I'm there with my envelopes and bits of paper and stuff. And you know, we're filling out the same number of seats and putting on the same show. So I have such faith in these people as performers. It's incredible. Let's take a look at the theater now. So I'll show you guys the backstage a little bit and then the theater itself. It's a beauty. Here we go. I think I did this. All right, welcome backstage. So this is backstage. Now, I have to be careful not to show too many secrets back here. But this is where all the sound stuff happens. And then that's one of my stations where I get ready. Some of my things are there. Look, some of my jewelry on the table. And then some of my other stuff. And then this is where some of my clothes hang. The ones that I need for stage are typically here. Oh, look, it even says my name right there. Boom. That's my chair. where I sit sometimes during the show when Shin's on stage. This is where Casey does all her stretches and gets ready for her extremely athletic act. And she stretches for like an hour before she goes on stage. It's crazy, every single night. It's very physically demanding. And this is my other station where I get some stuff ready. Some monitors where I could watch the show. So here is an audience view of the stage. So throughout the show, those cards are all lit up, those screens are on, and there's screens on stage going back and forth. But that is the stage. And now I'll jump on stage and show you the audience and what I see every night, which is 1,600 seats watching Limitless. All right, so that's backstage, that's the stage, and this is the audience. Mezzanine up there, main floor down here. It's VIP in the middle, those couches. And this is what I basically look at every night when I'm up here. Boom. That's what I see. So that is my home. So that's basically the theater. That's what I see every night. Yeah, it's a beautiful theater. Serena says, stretches for an hour. Are you serious? Yeah, so Casey is basically the hardest worker that's back there because she does her makeup. And I wish I could show you clips of the show, but that's all, protected. So I'll be able to show you small clips of myself on that stage, but the actual content of the show I can't really share that. But Casey puts on her makeup for 2 hours every single day, and then she goes up and stretches for an hour, and that's to go do her act. So it's incredible to see the commitment that some of these people have. Speaking of all that and commitment and talent and what goes on that stage, Scranton Strangler, thank you so much. You were there. I don't know if I know your name. I don't want to say your name in case you don't want your name said publicly, but you were there with your child, and it was great to meet you guys and see you. And we'll talk about all that as well, who came and who's been showing up, because it's been awesome to see the YouTube community turn up. And I don't mean just the viewers. I mean a lot of the people that you've seen collab on this channel came to the show. It was amazing to see them. And it was amazing for you and them to see what I do on stage, how I apply the things we talk about on the channel on stage, because as Scranton Strangler could say or confirm, there are little bits throughout the show where you definitely see the things that we talk about on the channel and how I adapt it and apply it to the entertainment to just add an extra layer to the trickery and the mentalism, which is a big part of what I do. And we'll talk about all that in a minute. So let's go now to the interview that I did. So I sat down with Shin in the theater. Again, Shin is a world champion of magic. He won America's Got Talent twice. He's fooled Penn and Teller twice. He's one of the most accomplished magicians and performers alive. So, and a friend of mine for 18, 20 years almost. And so I sat down with him and did an interview, asked him some questions, talked about the whole experience. So here's that. This is going to take a couple of minutes, but it's really a lot of fun. So check that out, and I'll be back in a minute. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the vlog, the one and only Shin Lim. So Shin, what's up?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah?
We're ready for a show tonight.
Our first show tonight.
Yeah, we have a show tonight.
Fifth one this week.
Yeah. After
How does
a long...
it feel to be sitting in this theater going, this is all for you?
Feels pretty good, actually,
Yeah.
to be honest. It's awesome. It's a dream come true. If you told me when we were in Florida together, I don't think I would have believed you at all.
You were like a mini Shin at the time. You hadn't evolved into full Shin form.
Ah.
You couldn't imagine it because you weren't like
Right.
as glorious as you are now.
So I'm like a Charmeleon right now?
No, I think you're Charizard.
I'm Charizard?
Yeah. Question for you.
Yes.
There are a lot of different kinds of art forms that you could put on the stage. You know, there's like jugglers and contortionists and danger acts, ventriloquists, those people who like tap dance with fire on their shoes. And then like there's like people who do like acrobacies. I don't know what the word is.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Circus.
Circus.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different kinds of acts. Why was it important for you to have a mentalist be the feature act of the show?
Because it kind of happened by chance, really. Me and Casey, we were on tour in New Zealand. It was called The Magicians, and there was a manipulator, the card manipulation, you know, and then there was a juggler, and there was a Mentalist, and there was me. And so when Casey was watching the show, she said to me backstage, she was like, you know what, if you ever have your own show, you need to have a Mentalist, because it's the most the best type of art form to balance out the close-up magic.
Wow.
Yeah, I agreed, because it was not just in New Zealand, also on Broadway, on The Illusionist, it was the same thing. It was kind of like there were so many close-up magicians and also Mentalists, and the show worked. And so, yeah, I feel like it just contrasts what I do really, really well. Also, the Mentalist, is kind of a showman.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to kind of bring the audience together, unite the audience, and through talking, which is something that I don't really do that much. I do a little bit of talking, but I don't talk a lot, and so that type of contrast really, really helps with the show. Sure. And also I think people really like Mentalism as well. Oh, yeah. Like it's kind of almost like trending almost. So that's cool. That's why also another reason why I decided. And I love Mentalism. Yeah. I think Mentalism is really cool. I add a little bit of it in my show. I always find it very fascinating.
Very cool, man. Yeah, those are. I agree with everything you said. It's just a different type of performance that just helps flow the show forward, because it's interactive and it's with the mind, whereas what you do is less interactive, very visual. It's the best magic in the world for your eyes. Your eyes are so full that they need a break. Yeah. So I come out and kind of talk to them a little bit, calm them down, but stimulate, their thinking and their interactive side, and we'll go right back to the mysterious Shin Lim. It's such a great flow. Yeah. So I guess you could say that ultimately Casey was the Mentalist, because she predicted that this formula would work.
Yeah, I think so. She's kind of been like my secret weapon in my career. Like she always makes the right decisions for me 99% of the time. She's usually right all the time, and our brains are like kind of like almost polar opposites, and that's I think why we work so well together as a team, because like we kind of even each other out at the end of the day.
You realize all my viewers study body language, and they're staring at your face to see if everything you just said is truthful, and it was. That's the good thing. No really? Lies detected.
Oh wow.
So this question comes to us from a viewer by the name of Shauna Laria or Chanel Ria. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but the question is for both you and Shin. You're both so charismatic and great showmen. What happens if you're having an off day and or you're not feeling your best, but the show must go on? How do you still radiate that magnetic energy and positivity? Thank you.
So this is actually another reason why the show works so well, is because of that. That's a great question. That's such a good question. Because there are many days where I'm off. This is like my downfall when it comes to performing. Let's say I mess up one trick, just one trick in the very beginning of the show especially. It just messes with my mind, and then I'm like, okay, the whole show is done for, and I get cranky, and then the whole show just gets ruined in my head.
And what's crazy, I'm gonna cut you off, sorry, is that no one in the audience knows that this happened. He's such a perfectionist that and this is why he's so successful. The slightest thing could go wrong that only he knows went wrong. Even we don't know. Back there, we're looking at it, we're like, Shin, there was nothing wrong with that, but it'll throw you off because you want every show to be perfect, 10 on 10.
Just for me, I don't know, and if I flash or something like that, I just get really upset at myself, and so it kind of ruins my part of the show, and that's when the Mentalist comes in, like Spidey, to save the day, because it's almost like they kind of help carry the show and pace it in a way that people just forget, that like Shin messed up or there was a mistake in the show, and it's so important to have a host like that, or another one is if something goes wrong, and many times there's technical difficulties. We've had one experience where the lights stopped working, the camera stopped working, and the screen stopped working, all three at the same time. And so finally we were able to get the screen working just for a little bit, and I do like improvisational magic, but only for so long. I could only do it for like 3 minutes, and then that was it. I was out, and so I had to call Spidey on stage, and Spidey just killed it with the deck of cards. It was amazing. I wish you guys could see it, but
I'm gonna show it to them.
Oh, you have footage?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are going to see it.
You guys are going to see that
Amazing.
Coming up.
Yeah. So cool. And so Spidey saved the day and did about, 5-10 minutes?
Like 7?
7 minutes. Yeah. 7 minutes of magic for the audience. Improv too. Just a deck of cards. Unbelievable. I was shocked as I was watching it. It was such a cool thing. And the audience really felt like it was a spectacular show because they got to experience something that no other audience gets to experience, and it made it even a better show than what it was, because it would have been a disaster if I didn't have someone else to come help me, because we would have had to probably cancel the show, because you can't have the audience sit for like 15 to 20 minutes of nothing. It's not fair to them. They end up getting a refund, something like that. So yeah. So thanks for that.
Yeah, anytime, man. That's why I'm here.
So actually, Spidey, I've always been curious about this because what I do is so visual, you know. All you're doing is talking and trying to connect to the audience the whole time.
Yeah.
What if you're having an off day? What if you got food poisoning? What? How do you
Like last week when we had like 7 boxes of donuts,
exactly,
and I had 2 of them.
Yeah. How do you still manage to keep?
Actually, before I answer that question for everyone and for Shin, I just want to explain the comment that I just made because it's actually insane. So there was a night where we had a tech issue, and we'll talk about more of that in a minute. There was a big tech issue, but the team really came through. The whole crew really grinded it out and figured everything out, and everyone worked really hard, and we were able to put together an amazing show. And 2 days after that, on the Saturday, I had this idea where I was like, I want to get boxes of donuts for the whole crew as a thank you for their hard work. But it turns out that Shin had the exact same idea on the exact same day, and his manager, whose name is Aaron, had the exact same idea on the exact same day. And it's so weird because we've never discussed donuts. We've never talked about Krispy Kreme specifically. I showed up with 3 boxes. Shin showed up with 2 boxes. Aaron showed up with 2 boxes. It was insane. It was this massive, like, coincidental thing. And we're like, how did this even happen? And we're all very confused. And like, I wanted to take credit for it as a mentalist. Like, I knew you guys would do that, but it was insanely coincidental. So the staff room had 7 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts. 7 dozen. Serena, do the math. That's insane. Yeah, crazy synchronicity. And of course, I am a giant child who doesn't know discipline or limits or anything of that sort. So I scarfed down, I think, like 6 or 7 donuts, partially because I wanted to, and partially because like there were so many that I was like, might as well. And the show's about to start, and I'm the first thing on stage. I open for the show, and then I'm throughout. I have all these acts that move the story forward. I'm literally backstage going like this. Like I'm hearing the intro. I'm supposed to go on. So yeah, so what he's talking about there when he said like food poisoning and I was talking about the donuts, I'm limitless with donuts. I really am. Bam. So that's what he's asking about. Like what do you do as a host, as someone, because he's in his own little world. It's very visual, but he's asking like, what do you do when that's how you feel? And you got to go out in front of 1,000 people, up to 1,600 people and entertain. So here's the rest of that answer.
That smile on your face to make people like believe in magic and connect with you and the audience and in the show? Like,
Yeah.
How do you do?
So that's a really good question. And for this show specifically, there are 2 things I keep in mind. The audience and you and Casey and Mackenzie and the whole crew. And what I mean by that is this. It's easy sometimes to get lost when you're doing residency and saying like, today's just a Wednesday. It doesn't matter if I'm not 100%. I'll come back better tomorrow. It's easy to get lost in that mindset. But for me, I like to remind myself that for us, it might just be a Wednesday, but there could be a kid in the audience who saved up for like a year to buy tickets to come see Shin Lim.
That's right.
And he's been so excited. To him, this isn't a Wednesday, it's the best day of his life. So, or of his year, or whatever it is. So I'm back there thinking of those people and saying, for these people, this is such a unique experience. And you know how sometimes we have a show that we don't feel was great, but then the audience is like, that was the best thing ever? So I remind myself that for this audience, we owe them everything we've got. So when I step on that stage, I may not be feeling well. I may have had some, a rough day, or even physically I'm tired or something. But the moment I sit on that stage, it's part of the job, especially for me as the host, to be 100% on.
Right.
The other thing I think about is everyone else in the show, right? You've all put your trust in me. I'm the first person on the stage.
Yep.
And that's an unbelievable amount of trust you've put on me, because you're saying this audience is coming here to see me, and I'm gonna let my friend Spidey go out first. So this show has you, this show has Casey, this show has Mackenzie, all on stage with your reputations out there, and this whole cast and crew, the Limitless cast and crew, which are phenomenal, by the way. Everyone back there working diligently to make us look good. Hell yeah. So for me, I'd like to keep that in mind and go, if I don't give my best, then they can't look their best because I'm the host of the show.
Yeah, because you're the one connecting everything together. You're the narrator.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're narrating the story.
Right.
You know.
So when I come out there, I go, you know, we've been friends, what, 18 years?
Yeah.
And I go, for that little, you know, little Shin from 18 years ago who deserves this, I would have wanted the best for him all that time, and I want the best for him now. So I come out there. So even if I'm not feeling the best back there, I go, I owe it to everyone on that stage, backstage, and in this audience to be 100%, because I can't do any less than that. It would be disrespecting everyone. So for me, I think that's the key for me, to be like, it doesn't matter. It's part of the job. Get out there and do 100% of what you can. And then when you step off stage, then you deal with your stuff.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
So guys, come check it out. Limitless. Whether I'm here or not, doesn't matter, because he's here at all times, and it's an incredible show, and we're having such a great time. And now it's time to go get ready to put on the show.
Let's do it. Bye, guys.
So that was my little chat with Shin about the show and, you know, the responsibilities of kind of being the first one up there. You know, and that's one of the things that there was a lot of things that I didn't anticipate about how I would feel about the show, and that was one of them. Like the sort of feeling that sense of responsibility of like, yeah, this is the Shin Lim show. That's the name on the poster. But when you're the first one on the stage, when you're the one moving the story forward, when you're narrating, because that's what I do, right? I do acts throughout, and I narrate his life story, and we tell his story together. And it's crazy how if one thing in my set in the beginning doesn't go well, it has a ripple effect on the rest of the show. Or if something with him in the beginning doesn't go well, it has when we sense that ripple effect, we see it in the rest of the show. We see in the energy, because it's supposed to just continuously do this, and ramp it up all the way to the end. So we see that. We see it in the nonverbal communication of the audience, or even in the verbal communication of the audience, the amount of energy in the room. So oh, sorry to hear that, Froggy Girl. I hope everything's okay and that your family and support system are strong. And we're here with you. Thanks for popping in. So yeah, it's a crazy experience. The other thing that's really different about this experience is, and I didn't think I would feel this. This is the first time in my entire career, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's as a performer, where I have to answer to someone else, and not just one person, a whole network of people that are big decision makers, the producers, you know, Shin, Casey, everyone is above, everyone who's responsible for this show. So previously, like in my own show, if there's a joke I like, it stays. If there's a joke I don't like, it goes. That's it. It's as simple as that. If there's a trick I'm working on that I want to throw in, I throw it in. I want to get rid of it, I get rid of it. It's as simple as that. Even on YouTube, I do, you know, all the editing myself, or I oversee all the editing myself. And very often I do it physically myself. So anything I want in there remains, anything I don't want goes, and I don't really have to check in with anyone. Now I'm representing a bigger production. So there's a vision in place, and I have to respect that vision. And it's crazy because you wouldn't think it makes that much of a difference, but it really, really does. Because I have to make sure they're happy, and I don't really know, I've never had to balance that. So it's kind of crazy. But it's fun, you know, it kind of, in one way, it's kind of a lot of pressure because you have to respect someone else's vision. But on the other hand, it's kind of a little bit more relaxed because I don't have to make the decisions myself, right? Someone else goes, yeah, let's modify this. I go, okay, no problem. You know, I didn't have to sit there and obsess with like, do I want this? Do I not want this? So that kind of really helps. Okay, let's keep moving here. So, you know, a lot of people ask me what some of the favorite things are that happen in the show. So for those of you who don't really quite understand what mentalism is, because you haven't seen a mentalist before, it's hard to explain, and it's hard to explain how I use behavioral analysis within mentalism. Those of you who came to see the show, you could try to explain it in the comments. Sadie will see those and pin them. But mentalism is basically, it's trickery. It's meant to look like we know what you're thinking, right? We know how to unlock your phone. We give you a book. We say, open it up, think of a word in that book, and we know what that word is. We know things about you. We know things about your life. But when you know behavioral analysis, when you understand persuasion, when you understand facial expressions, you can add layers and layers to the mentalism that makes it a lot more believable and a lot more personal to the person. Because now you know how they're thinking about something. Now you know if they've made a drawing, you know how this relates to them emotionally, and you could connect with those things. You could see the people in the audience who are a little bit more artistic, those people who are a little bit more logical, and you can follow those paths and what we call cold readings. So there were a lot of examples of that kind of thing. Love the forget me not seed idea. Yeah. So sorry, I'm just trying to read through the comments as I do this. So yeah. So and again, I hope that some of the people who came to the show can talk about how they've witnessed that. But here's one of my favorite moments of the show. So I don't want to give too much away in the sense of the trickery. I have to be really careful with that. But there's a point in my show where there's a couple on stage. I give them a big book. They open it up to any page and think of any word that they want. My back is turned. Nobody except for them could see this word. So they're thinking of a word from a book. They confirm that there's millions of words in this book, and they just think of one in their minds. They don't write it down. They don't say it to anyone. They just think of one. And now I have them focus on this word, and I turn to someone in the audience, and I have the person in the audience, random person that I've never met, connect with them and guess the first letter of this word that they randomly thought of. It's an astounding moment, but it's really difficult. Really hard. Like it's like level 10 difficulty. So I have all these jokes and stuff for when it doesn't work out, depending on what version of the show you saw when you came. You may have seen that I wiggle out of it when I have to troubleshoot. But first, let me show you how it's supposed to look. And then I'm going to show you this one night where it was just beautiful. So here's how this is supposed to look. This is from a night where I had a Canadian couple on stage. They were lovely people, and they thought of a word. And here's what it's supposed to be like. Before you close the book, Mintu, can you confirm to this audience that there are a ton of words to choose from?
There are.
Okay, close the book. That way I can't even know roughly where you're at. Good. Now, if I get this one, Mintu.
I'm going to be impressed.
Yeah.
I'm already impressed.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so kind. That's so Canadian of you to say. I want both of you to focus on this word. Focus more on the first letter of this word. Face forward and think of nothing but that letter. Keep a poker face. I'm going to see if somebody in the audience could connect with this. Let's go to the gentleman right here on the end in the second row. Look at them. Take a deep breath of air in. Name a letter of the alphabet. H. Do you want to stick to that, or do you want to change it, or do you feel good about that? You're good with H? Okay. Guys, think about this. Random audience member, random letter, random word. If this works out, come on, that's crazy. Mintu, in a loud, clear voice, you're the only two who know this. Tell everyone the first letter of the word.
H.
It wasn't me, look at him. Yeah. So that's what it's supposed to look like. That's how it's supposed to go. And of course, there are times where it doesn't go that way, and there are times where it goes that way. Now watch this. This is one of the nights, and pay attention to not just what happens, but to the reaction in the audience, because it's just if I saw this in a show, I'd be like, that's got to be scripted. But I'm telling you, it's not. So you may not hear the guy in the audience very well, but you'll understand from what I'm saying what he's saying. But the short version of the story is he changed his mind, I think 5 times. Let's watch and see. And then listen to the audience reaction. Just 2 women or 3 women or a guy, I don't know what it was, who just lost their damn minds. Watch this. Let's go with the gentleman right here, the third one in. Hi. I want you to look at them, take a deep breath of air in, name a letter of the alphabet. F. Don't say anything. Do you want to keep F or do you want to change it? Change it. To what? K. K. You have 24 left. Do you want to change it again? E. Okay. E? J. You got to lock one in, buddy. Shin's got to come back on stage. Lock one in, something.
T.
T. Final answer? T. We're locking in T. In the best moment of the show. Random spectator, random word. T. In a loud, clear voice, say the first letter of the word.
T.
Yeah. He did it. I didn't do it. He changed his mind. Good thing he changed his mind. That's my favorite. The one lady in the audience who goes, "What? How did you do that?" She just lost their mind. Because think about it, the guy changed his mind like 5 times. He could have stopped at any point. in those 5 times. And I legitimately have never met this man in my life, nor the one on stage. So yeah, that was a beautiful freaking moment. And it's hard because when you're on stage and that kind of thing happens in your head, you want to do cartwheels, but in my head I'm like, stay calm, just chill out, So it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. Speaking of beautiful moments, there have been a lot of great moments in the show, and a lot of great moments where behavioral analysis really kicked in, and I saw some things on people that I was able to call out live, and they go, whether it's about their lives or their personalities, and it really, really hits. It really elevates the mentalism. Here's a really great moment from a woman who was like an open book behaviorally, and this went on for a while, but I'm just going to show you a little bit of it, and you'll even see it. Her behaviors literally gave away the way she thinks. And of course, it's not always the behaviors that are telling me the information, but when I call out the behaviors, you'll see the effect it has on the person, because they go, it's just great because they know that behavior happened. And it's such a beautiful moment. And then based on those behaviors, I was able to very confidently know something. And I can't really explain how this works, but I was very confidently able to know exactly what was in her head. And you'll see it was like a crazy combo. Here's that. There's a letter Y in this somewhere, isn't there? Think of where that is. Think of where it is. Did you see what her eyes did? They scanned all the way and popped at the end. It ends with a Y, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mix up all the other letters in your mind. Focus on one in particular. Kim was just thinking of the letter T. I'm in your head, Kim.
I know. It's scary.
So that's that. She was awesome. She was just awesome. And it's that, and that was going on for a while. I was basically I just kept calling out the way she processes things, not just what because the mentalist could tell you think of a card from this deck of cards. Look at me, 8 of clubs. But when you call out those behaviors and go, oh, look at the way this happened. Here's what's happening in your head. And now focus on this way. And you're guiding that thought process. It's just such a different experience. And you can see it in her reactions. It's beyond just, oh my God, how'd you know that? It's like, how are you in my head? So that was a beautiful, beautiful moment. So let's keep going. That's that. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm going to answer all the questions, and we're going to talk about some other stuff that you guys are talking about here soon, but I just want to get through these clips. There isn't too many left. This next one, so let's talk about rituals. So when you're part of the cast of a live show like this, and this has happened anytime I was, in a live show that was not necessarily a residency like this, but, anything that was ongoing for a while, these rituals we don't know how they start. They just start, somebody says something one day, and then they say it again the next day, and then the next day, and then it just kind of evolves into something. So you have all these rituals, and this show is no exception. I think I have 4 or 5 rituals that I'm part of, and then every other. And by ritual, what I mean is this thing that we do every day, this weird little quirky thing and it might be one might be me and Mackenzie, and then another one is me, Casey, and Mackenzie, and then me and some of the crew members, and then we just have our little things, we have to do this every night. So there's a whole bunch that goes on with me. One of them is I have crew members that have to give out envelopes in the show for one of my acts. So before every show, they come to me and I give them their envelopes. And at first I kept saying Merry Christmas every day. I was like, Merry Christmas, thank you, Merry Christmas. But then we started looking up every day what the national holiday is. And every day, I don't know if you guys know this, every single day has 50 different national holidays. And it can be something as silly as National Pretzel Day or International, Shih Tzu Day. It's all these. So every day we look up what it is, and that's one of my rituals. Another one is banana time. So that's me, Casey, and Mackenzie. There's a part of the show where we just have bananas backstage while Shin's on stage, and we just talk about stuff. But let me show you one of my favorite rituals. This is one of my favorite rituals. So there's a very dramatic part in the show where Shin is telling a part of his story that's pretty serious. And the music drops to a very serious tone all of a sudden. So it goes from this melodic piano to this very serious thing. And it's super intense. And when that ends, it goes to dark and the screens behind him open and I come out to continue the story. It's a really nice moment. I'll show you that end of that moment for you to understand where I am while he's doing his thing. But again, I can't show you the actual magic that he's doing, but you'll get enough to understand what's going on. So here's what it is. How do I, oh, here. I'll never forget the phone call I got that day. I was waiting for the good news, then Shin called and told me something I never thought I'd hear. So that's basically it. So, and by the way, the reason you didn't hear the audience applaud is because I'm mic'd and the music is mic'd, but they're not. But at that moment, it goes dark. The audience is applauding as the screen opens and I walk out. So, so I'm behind those screens for a good minute while he's finishing this particular part of the show because I got to get from backstage to behind the screens to be in position. Everything is like a ballet. Everything is synchronized to the second. So I'm back there, and when those screens open, you have 3 crew members, Grayson, Elton, and then either Mike or Leo. They change. They have to go out, clean up Shin stuff while I go into my next act. So we're just back there for a minute while this super dramatic music is happening. And I don't know how this started. But at some point, Grayson, who's awesome, one of the crew members, she was back there doing like the piano. And then when it got super serious, I don't know how this started because I would be next to her and we're waiting for me to go out and I'm just trying to deal with the nerves. We just, when that music dropped, did this like Matrix thing because it goes really well with the music. And then we just kept doing that. And then the other crew members started doing it with us. And it became one of the rituals to where while you have all these people in the audience watching Shin out there, we're back there doing this. We actually filmed it one night. So here's what that looks like.
It seemed like everything in my world was just going backwards.
So that's basically every night backstage while Shin is finishing that piece. We're just back there doing exactly that pretty much every night. And it kind of helps. It's weird to say. It's weird to say because it doesn't make sense. Break the pattern. Even if it's a pattern, it breaks the pattern because it kind of, otherwise it's just a show. We're going through the motions of the show. This kind of adds an element of humanity and friendship and just, reminds us that we're all in on this together. And that's why I love these things because it just kind of reminds us that we're a team and working together. So, I'm nervous. I'm about to go out there. They're nervous. They're about to go out there. So it kind of just all helps us in that moment without saying anything, be like, I've got you, and them to me and me to them. So that's it adds connection. So yeah, that's awesome. The last clip I want to show you guys is what we were talking about earlier, Shin and I, when we were sitting in the theater doing that interview. We were talking about a time where the tech just messed up, right? The audio messed up. What happened is basically the lighting messed up. And then there was also an issue with the cameras and just a lot of things weren't working. And this was like one of the first weeks I was there. So Shin and I hadn't really sat down and discussed a contingency for when that happens. Like, sometimes there's a plan in place. We didn't have one. So Shin basically was out there, and you're going to see this. I cut it up. I cut out a lot of just to make it punchier to give you an idea of what happened. But basically Shin did an improvised card trick, and then it still wasn't fixed. So he goes, Spidey. And then I come out and just literally improvise for like 7 minutes and just have a good time with the audience, completely unplanned. So here's that footage. And yeah, it was just me and a deck of cards basically. And it was a ton of fun. Here it is.
Are we good? Are we good? Oh, we're not good. Okay, we're gonna keep going. All right. Hey, Spidey. Spidey, you good to come out? You want to do something together? Here's slide to everyone.
What do we do?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Give me.
All right.
Me with cards. This is what this audience came to watch.
Actually, no, really, he's one of the best mentalists with a deck of cards, for real. This is amazing.
So the good news is you guys are getting a very unique show. Make some noise for that. Are they ready, or do I do something?
No, they're still resetting.
Cool. Cancel your dinner plans. If you have breakfast tomorrow, cancel that as well.
Yeah, you guys are sleeping here tonight.
I'm gonna try something real quick with you guys here. We'll get like 10 of you to help, and I'm gonna try to do, instead of having one person pick a card, I'll get 10 people to pick a card. Okay, check this out. So we'll get 10 people, we'll do this rapid fire. I'm gonna go through the cards like this, say stop when you like. When you stop, I'll show you the card that you've stopped at. Remember it, and don't take too long, because I only have a finite number of cards. Whenever you like.
No.
Right there, can you remember that card? Yep. That'll be 1. Let's go 2.
Stop.
Can you remember that one? This one? What is happening right now? You got it? You got to get your eyes checked. You got it for sure? Sir? Right there, can you remember that one? That's 3. Let's do 4 over here. There's 4. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. It's getting darker and darker in here. 5. We're gonna try to do this in order. Even if the cards were mixed, even if you guys pick random cards, we're gonna try to do this one at a time in order. You were the first one, yeah? Okay.
Back to handheld.
I'm gonna try, open your hands. I'm just gonna do that and flip one. That's the 7 of diamonds. Was that it? Yeah. Sick. Who was number 2? That was you? If I just do that somewhere at the middle, that's a 6 of spades. Is that correct? That's amazing. That's for you. I'm giving away Shin's cards, by the way, as souvenirs, as an apology. You're number 3. You're number 3. Watch, if I just take one of my very fine hairs, tie it around the deck, give it a snap, the 6 of diamonds comes out. Was that yours? It was? Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Yeah, that's 4. You're next? You were next? You were the next one, yeah? Okay. Do you remember your card? Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Let me get a random one out here. I have the 5 of hearts. Was that it? Yeah. No, it wasn't. Or 5 of hearts, but black. So if I just give it a shake and it turns black, that's the 5 of hearts, but black. Yeah, that's the 5 of hearts, but black. 5 of hearts, but black. That's for you. It's a spade, yeah. That's called a spade. It's not your fault. You were number 6? I can't find your card. Would you like to know why? It's not in the deck. It's over here in my pocket. Hold on, let me do it this way. Let's get the front of house so everybody can see this. Oh, look at that. Zoom in. 1 card in the pocket. 2 of diamonds? Make some noise! Okay, 2 left, guys. Here we go. I'll do both at the same time, and if I get this, make thunderous amount of noise. Hopefully we'll be back to the show. Otherwise, I gotta go learn some more card tricks, because this is my best one. Here we go. Let's go 2 at a time. The deck is shuffled. We're doing this one or front of house?
We can handheld.
Handheld. Okay, let's go. Check it out. Oh my God, look at that. I haven't seen my hairs that large before. It's kind of embarrassing. Here we go, both at the same time. Bam. All the cards fall. Shin, I'm sorry about the deck. I shall reimburse you. Oh my God, both aces? Spades and diamonds? Oh, baby, yes. All right, now Shin's gonna do some mentalism. Bye.
All right, is it working? We're good? We're good? All right, let's go.
So that was super cool. And, it's kind of, it's great in so many ways for me, because first, the audience feels like they got a very unique experience. But second, as some of you mentioned, to see the camera crew just so on top of it, to see, Shin not waver, just go, okay, I'm going to do this, and then have that reflex to know, okay, it's fine, something's going wrong. And as you saw, they had a great time. And in their heads, they go, things happen, but I think they appreciate seeing how well everyone handled that. So that was really cool. Kevin Hamden is in the house. I don't know if you guys follow Kevin Hamden. You absolutely should. He's a legendary mentalist, and from Canada as well. Puts amazing stuff on Instagram under that name, Kevin Hamden. Go check it out. Unbelievable stuff. And helped me a lot with this show as well for Vegas. I was on the phone with him like pretty much nightly before I came out here, refining the set and stuff. So really awesome to see you here, Kev. Hope you're doing well. So that was the clips that I had, some behind the scenes stuff, some stuff on stage. And I'll get to answering your questions in a moment. But before I do, I just want to update you guys on what's going to happen. You know what? Weather calmed down outside. Let me show you guys this rental property that I have here for my stay. So I have a room at the Palazzo, at the Venetian, but I also, for the time that my family's here, so Lauren's here, the baby's here, our parents my parents came first, then my sister, and then her parents and some of our friends to kind of help out with the baby. So that's what I'm doing here. Let me switch over because there's no way I'll be able to do this with that. So let me disconnect that. This might get a little weird with the audio. Give me a sec to figure it out, but I want to show you guys this insane backyard. You're going to love it. 1 second. Okay. Hear me? Sadie, thumbs up. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Sorry. Thanks, guys. I just have to figure out how to flip over to the laptop to show you guys this. Check this out. It's windy, so you might hear the wind, but this is my. There's a mini putt. There's a mini putt, you guys. I've been mini putting. Chase was here. We mini putted. Chase is unreasonably good at mini putt. I don't know if you guys saw the picture I posted on Instagram, but there's a whole mini putt thing. And now it feels like a typical work Zoom. This is the most casual I've ever been on YouTube. See, I told you guys there was wind. Look at that. That was not there before I started this live. So that's that. So this is the back. This is where I've been chilling. That's the sort of sitting area. So yeah, that's you can probably hear the wind as well. Yeah, Chase Hughes was here. I'll show you guys some pictures in a sec. He's extremely good at golf. All right, I'll go back to this now. I'll go back to this, switch that, boom, and boom. Can you guys hear me from this now? Sadie, thumbs up. Can you hear that? Okay, cool. So yeah, let me show you guys. I was trying to upload some of the pictures, and then we'll do questions in a minute. First, actually, let me show you guys pictures, and then we'll go to, so here is Rob and his family. This is Rob from Lion Lumber and his family with me and Shin on stage after the show. So they came. It was amazing to see Rob. It was the first time I saw Rob physically. I've been friends with him, as you guys know, for a while now, since we've been covering the Amber Heard stuff. And you've seen him on the channel 1,000 times. But that's that. Yeah, it was amazing to see Rob and get to hang out. Then Chase, let me find him. Is this? I don't know if, no, this was first. So I'm going the wrong way. Then Chase came. Scott missed it, but he's there's a chance Scott will be coming before I'm done my run. Okay, here is no. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out. It's really hard. Everything is merged into one memory, so I can't remember the order that people came in. Oh, there's Chase. So there's Chase again after the show. Trying to block my face so you guys can see that. There's Chase. And then here's us on stage. And this is after the show. If you guys are coming to the show, you can message me on Instagram or Facebook DM, and my manager will let me know. And there are ways to, if you guys want pictures like that as well. And then Eric Hunley came with the wife. Oh no, wait, let me show you guys pictures of golf Chase. Oh man, Sadie. He was very focused. This is probably the one he would want me to show you. Much more elegant. And then Eric Hunley was there. Sorry, I tried to get these up on the stream earlier, and I was having a really hard time with it. But I'll show you guys Eric Hunley. Then we'll talk about schedule. Then I'll answer some questions, and then we'll all go enjoy the rest of our day. Sorry, where is Eric Hunley? Oh, he would have been maybe actually. Was Hunley before Rob? I'm so sorry, you guys. Give me 1 sec. I just really want you. Oh, there's Hunley. So there's Eric Hunley with his wife. Of course, you guys know Eric Hunley from the channel as well. Hey, Mackenzie. Mackenzie's here, you guys. Someone tell Spidey I'm in here, please. Mackenzie, what's up, bro? Guys, Mackenzie is an epic singer. He's a big part of the show. And he's also just a big part of my family here. Like, he's one of the things that like really makes this home. If you guys don't know who he is, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because he's like super famous. But you guys should go check him out. He crushed on American Idol. Absolutely crushed. So, yeah. And he's hilarious, as you guys saw from earlier. So, Mackenzie, I showed some of the backstage footage before of your a cappella singing and the that awesome 6 of Hearts trick that you did. Look at that. The people who came and saw you in the show, Mackenzie, they recognize the skill. So yeah, well, Nicola, he's from the UK. So he's from the UK. So he's closer from your part of the world than ours. So kind of, I don't know. So yeah, Mackenzie's awesome, and I'll film some stuff. I'll film some more stuff with him on Instagram. You guys got to hear this man's voice. It's insane. And he just recorded a different part of the show to close the show, and it's insane. Just so cool. So cool to work with this kid. One day when he's like filling out stadiums, you guys will all be like, oh, that's the guy that Spidey was talking about, who used to be part of Limitless. So for scheduling, so again, I'm here for another 2.5, 3 weeks roughly. And if this was just a normal residency, I think I'd be able to do the uploads regularly because the schedule isn't that unbearable. It's rough, but it's not like unsurvivable. The reason it's hard is because the family's here and I have clients flying in to see the show and I have friends flying in just to see the show. So every night is like, we got to go do a dinner. We got to go hang out. On my days off, I got to hang out with the people who are here to see me. And I hope you guys understand. I'm so sorry. My plan was originally to film a couple of times while I was here. It just hasn't been possible with the schedule and the way it is. But the good news is just a couple more weeks left. I'll be back. I think when I get back, I'll just need a few days to just reset, just kind of go back to life. And then I'll be uploading regularly. So thank you for your patience so much. And for those of you who have been writing, encouragement comments like, hey, we missed you, but take your time. We're here. That means you have no idea how much that means the world to me. For the members who are here, March, April, May, all your membership fees will be donated to a good cause. We'll figure it out together. I'm not going to keep those because, you pay that membership fee with some kind of expectancy that I haven't been able to meet. I'll double it. I'll give more than whatever the fees are for those 3 months to a good cause. So that's going to be a couple of weeks. I'll be back. I'm so sorry. But I'm glad we did this. Let's look at some of your questions. Oh, sweet Lord, that's a lot. Okay, so we'll go through these really quick. How exciting. So I believe earlier you said how to say this. Is it Sarana? Sarana, correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I believe that's what it was. Thank you for being here. Love from Sweden. Thank you so much, Josephine. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And thanks for your patience, you guys, once again. Yes, hit the like button. That really helps the video. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Ha ha ha. I don't know what Energy is saying ha ha to, but Energy, thank you so much for everything. Honestly, Energy was there at my LA show, and it was one of the most heartwarming subscriber meets I've ever had, because she had to go. She had driven a couple of hours to be at the show in LA. This was before Vegas, and she had to go, and she handed me a gift for my baby, and then left immediately. And I wish you had stuck around. And it was so sweet how it was like out of politeness that she didn't, because she didn't want to cut in front of the meet and greet. But I think everybody would have understood. And when I tell you that he loves his toy, I'm going to go grab it to show you guys. It just dawned on me that the mic is on and you guys could hear all this. And now you guys could hearing me in the laptop that Lauren is watching me from. But I'm coming. I just want to show you guys. He loves this thing. This is a little musical elephant. And we brought it with us to Vegas because he loves it. Because the belly goes on and oh, he loves this thing so much. So Energy, thank you so much. It means the world. And just the way you drove all the way just to hand me this. Like, I don't have the words. And even at the show in Vegas, like, we have subscribers who, some were here for business, came to watch the show. Some were here already on vacation. Some live in the area. But some made the trip to see the show and had gifts or cards. And I can't express to you what that means. To see the people that are part of this community actually show up physically, I don't have the words. Sorry, I'm out of breath. A lot of, whew. Hello. Yes, the camaraderie, it's vital. It's so vital in a show like this for there to actually be friendship, because you sense that on stage. Whew. Has anyone ever asked you, who are you wearing? Yeah, I get asked that when I do like red carpet stuff. The simple answer most of the time is John Varvatos for the clothes on stage. Almost everything I ever wear on stage is a designer brand called John Varvatos. Don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Really nice stuff for the stage. And then the shoes are almost always red bottoms. Christian Louboutin, which I could say in my French accent because I speak the French. Christian Louboutin, I love those shoes. They're hell comfort-wise, but they look good on stage. So that's who I'm wearing most of the time. Stretches for an hour. Yes, Casey does stretch for an hour every night. Can I see people's expressions in the audience? Yes, 100%. So that's a really, really good question. I specifically need for my set the house lights to be up a little bit. I need to see their faces, and for a lot of reasons. When I'm going to pick someone, I want someone who's easier to read. So as I'm talking, I want to see those people who are engaged. I want to see those people whose eyebrows move a lot, whose eyes open up a lot, who go up and down with the mood of the show. Those are the people that I want to work with, and I'm looking for that kind of thing. Also, just to as the host, to kind of sense the vibe of the audience. So very, very important for me to see the expressions. Oh, great. Jill came to see the show. That was also Pop-Tart night. That was great. So Pop-Tart is a funny thing that happened on stage. Actually, it was the child of one of the subscribers who was in the front who got to participate and made a drawing that I thought was a Pop-Tart. Turns out it was this artistic thing where you put these like these little pegs, from what I understand, and you melt them, and it turns into like this kind of art. It was beautiful. We saw some of them, but at first it really looked like it was a Pop-Tart, and I thought that that's what was happening. So that was really funny. When the residency Vegas residency is over, any chance you will go on tour and come to Canada? I likely will at some point. I do a lot of stuff in Canada. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'm not really sure when. I don't know my schedule, but it's possible that that might happen at some point. Yes. Yeah, we addressed this before. Shin and I go together like peanut butter and jelly. Congratulations. Hope you and your family are enjoying. Yes, so we are trying to relax between the enjoyment, but we're definitely enjoying this. It's something we're going to remember for the rest of our lives. It's an incredible experience. Try the Saint Honor donuts while you're in Vegas. Noted. I love me a good donut. Earlier, Sadie said, will I stop eating donuts? Sadie does not know me. I'm not a quitter. Hearing you chatting away now, goodness, it highlights how much I miss your videos. I'm just happy you're doing so well and so many people are getting to see your brilliance. Thank you so much. It means the world. And again, thank you for your patience. I'll be back as soon as I can. I miss you guys too. I promise I do. I really, really do. I'm not saying that. You should sell virtual tickets to your shows. It's not my decision. And I think it kind of like takes away from the experience of like people being there live. Hi, Spidey. Enjoying watching from the UK. Hello. Hi, Karen. How do you pick the person from the audience? What are you looking for? I love the border on the stage. Yeah, the border is so beautiful. Every detail they have is so beautiful. How do I pick the person from the audience? So there are a couple of bits in the show, and I'm about to reveal something that not everyone knows, or if you came to the show, you don't know. But there's one point where my assistants go out and choose the people for the envelopes, but it's not as random as you think. They've been given very clear instructions on what to look for. Fun people, engaging people, people with open, broad body language. So I talk to them quite a bit about that. So it looks like they go out and find random people, and to a certain extent they do, but we're looking for something very specific. When I bring up people on my stage, again, it's the same thing. Looking for engaging, open energy, fun, smiling. I look for eyebrow movement, throughout the show, because these people are really socially connecting, as you guys know. So those are things that I look for. Have I been to the Magic Castle? Yes, I have. That's in California. It's a beautiful club where there's magic shows and secret passages and all kinds of secret stuff. Beautiful, beautiful place. Great night. Loving this live with BTS commentary and clips. Thanks. Thank you, Ash. My pleasure. Thanks for being here. Yes, I met Law and Lumber. He was here. I went to dinner. He came to the show. It was awesome to meet him in person. Does noticing patterns help? Yes, absolutely. Noticing patterns helps. That's baseline, right? It's everything we do. So if someone's having just one really excited moment, it's not enough. I need someone who throughout my set is continuously engaged and engaging. That's the best kind of person I want on stage. This is really awesome. Would love to see more BTS on the channel. Cool. Yeah, maybe we should do that. Do you ever try to miss the rituals if you're feeling rebellious and then chicken out at the last minute? No. Even there are times where like I'm not really physically in the mood to like do the matrix, or not in the mood, just physically I don't feel capable. I'll still do it a little bit because like we're in on this together. Everyone's doing this together. So no, we don't. Mackenzie, do we ever skip banana time? Is he still here? Did he leave? I don't know if he's still here, but Mackenzie will tell you how important banana time is. We don't mess with banana time. And even if sometimes there's no bananas, we still do banana time. It's weird. I guess it's just time. Do I miss Canada? I do. I miss home. I miss home a lot. But this is kind of home because the family's here, Lauren's here, the baby's here. But yeah, I miss home quite a bit. We'll be back soon. What type of pattern interrupt do you use for inductions? So pattern interrupt in hypnosis is any time where you do something that breaks a normal pattern, like a greeting, you just stop it halfway, kind of confuse the brain for a second, helps you get to hypnosis faster. One of my favorites is if they're wearing a watch, I go to shake their hand and I'll say something like, "Oh, that's a lovely watch, your hand," as it comes closer to your forehead. So that's more of like a weasel sentence, I guess, or like using that word twice. But the confusion of going from, "Oh, that's a lovely watch, your hand," as it comes close to your forehead, it kind of confused the brain for a second. One of my favorites. Oh, my mom commented. Awesome show. So lucky you got to see it. Thanks, Mom. Have you seen any ghosts in Vegas? I've seen a lot of spirits, like vodka and gin, and I don't know if that counts. Hey, Spidey, I'm going to be in Vegas in a couple of weeks to see the show. Can't wait. Do you recommend other must-do activities? So first of all, I'm out in like a week and a half. So my last show is on the 15th of May. If you come after that, it's still a great show. Go see it. You're going to love it, but I won't be on stage. I'm here till the 15th and then packing up for a couple of days back home towards the end of May. And that's when I'll be back to uploading. Other must-do activities or eateries. Oh my God, I'm such a foodie. There are so many places that I love to eat. Depends on the budget, really. There are really, really expensive places, and then there are places that are more affordable. if you're looking for high-end SW Steakhouse at the Wynn, one of my favorites when it comes to steak, maybe my favorite. Cut also at the Venetian, great steaks. Asian, there's Tao, which is in the Venetian. It's almost like a Vegas kind of landmark. Like the vibe is really cool. Food's really good as well. Sushi Samba also in the Venetian, I like a lot. I tried the other day. A little bit more exotic, but really, really good. I'm kind of doing all the Venetian places in my head. There's a place called Yardbird also in the Venetian. So good. It's a comfort food, really, really good, very affordable. Must do activities. Honestly, I've been so focused on the show that I haven't done too many activities. But if you want recommendations for shows, Limitless, 100%, obviously. I like Copperfield's shows, super magical. Penn and Teller, of course, classics. Of course, I'm just naming the magical stuff. From Cirque du Soleil at the Bellagio is a beautiful show. Yeah, tons of great stuff. It really depends what you're looking for. Like Vegas has something for everyone, Do I have any upcoming Toronto shows? Nothing in Toronto on the schedule for now, but keep an eye out. You made my afternoon. Need to pick me up. Thank you. So happy to see your face. Thank you so much. I'm glad we could do this. It was a little chaotic, but I'm glad we could do it. You are such a natural born performer. Has doing your YouTube show helped you with the improv stuff, or did you always find it easy to find stuff to talk about? No, I actually don't think. I think YouTube made me lazy with the improv stuff because, like YouTube, I can always re-record and I could script and things like that, and I have time to think. No, the improv is all from actually being on stage and for decades and just kind of doing this again and again and again until I naturally develop that rhythm. Love you too, Kev. Oh, you were the 7 of diamonds. You were the one, Michelle, you were the one in the front. Oh, that's great that you got to witness that complete random chaos. Thank you so much. That's so cool. I do remember you were in the front with your sister and you got to witness and pick the 7 of diamonds. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, it's great to work with a professional team that help you just bounce from things like that. It's cool that Shin automatically just called for you. That says a lot in his confidence in you. It really does. And I saw it in that he did something and he just went, Spidey, and I'm glad I was able to go out and help out and just be there as a friend, Love you too, Kenzie. I'll see you later today. I'll open for your tour. Oh, so sweet. Michelle just came for the show. That's amazing. Honestly, that's so amazing. I don't expect it, but when it happens, it's like so amazing. So freaking amazing. We made the trip just to see the show, but made a touristy couple of days of it. So glad we made it. Yes, Scranton Strangler, it was amazing to meet you. And I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I'm glad you guys got to participate a little bit as well. So that was insanely cool. Thank you for coming. How do you decide what mental is and effects are going to be on your show? What mentalism effects are going to be on the show? We work it out, me and Shin together. We look at the set. We look at what works, the energy that we need. Does it have to be comedy? Does it have to be interactive? Does it have to build like what we want? And then we tried some stuff out and we stuck to what works. Will I do another show in Vegas? For now, no. For now, I'm doing this and I'm going back home. And I'll see you guys on YouTube. Will you come to Europe as well at some point? I mostly tour the States and Canada. I've done very little in Europe. The travel is often, there's some great magicians in Europe and mentalists. So they usually stick to local, but maybe one day. Thank you so much for the virtual meet and greet with Shin and Backstage Pass. You're a great entertainer. Thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to do this. I'm glad I was able to show you guys a bit of the life here. Are you adjusting to Vegas? Come to Seattle. I'm adjusting-ish. Yeah. I'm doing the best I can, as you guys saw. How do you keep your focus sharp, and how do you deal with distractions when live on stage? That's such a great question, especially because usually my solo shows, we don't allow children or kids in the audience, but here there have been several shows there were kids or even babies in the audience, and they were like crying or screaming or talking while I was up there. And yeah, it does throw you off because like I'm going through my script, I'm trying to connect with the audience, or sometimes I'm like really trying to focus on someone to try to connect and figure out what's going on in their head. And how do you deal with it? By not dealing with it. You just kind of keep going, keep pushing through, and hope that someone else is going to deal with the distraction soon enough. In most cases, they do. Do you know a self-hypnotic trick technique to stop thinking of a love that never happened. Oh, yeah, there's tons of self-hypnosis stuff. You can even look it up on YouTube. Sorry about that, battery died. Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. Look up like uh, swish pattern, that might work. Let me think a sec. Collapsed anchors, that might work. If you look up YouTube, like look up like specifically emotional management hypnosis or like uh, thought pattern changing hypnosis, you'll find a ton of stuff on that. Or you could go consult a hypnotherapist. That would be great as well. How did you and Shin connect? That's such a great question. Psychology podcast. Great question. Let me just do. I don't know why my lighting. You know what? It got brighter outside. Sorry, guys. This is extremely like improvised. So trying to. There we go. That'll be better. How do we connect? Great question. So a while ago, like 20 years ago, I would create mentalism effects and put them on a website that would allow creators of magic and mentalism to share their effects and sell it. And they would approve it. If they like what they see, they would approve it. They would put it on the website and then they would take a small cut. And I kept releasing my mentalism stuff and hitting #1 in sales because there was like the top 5 of the week. And then this guy would come in, drop a new release, card trick, and then he'd dethrone me. And then I'd drop mentalism release and dethrone him. And then he'd drop something and dethrone me. And his name was Shin Lim. And I'd be like, who is this guy? And I'd look at his stuff, and he was an incredible creator of card magic. So we connected through that, and we became friends. And the rest is history. He came to Montreal one day, contacted me. We hung out. Then went to Florida together and hung out, and we just became friends. And throughout his career, I've tried to be there as much as I can to help him out. When he first auditioned for AGT, he was building this act that's incredible. It's called the Dream Act. It's insane. And he would. I'm not that great with cards, like nowhere near his level, but he would send it to me like for structure or routing, and I try to help as much as I can. And little known story, actually, not everyone knows this, but the idea Limitless for the show was my idea. He was brainstorming some ideas, and I was like, dude, Limitless, Shin Lim, Limitless, because he talks about his story and how how we're all limitless. That's a big message in the show. So yeah. Scoof, what up, buddy? Went to college with Spidey in early 2000s. Yes, you did. Always a showman. Thank you so much, man. He was working on his craft then. Takes dedication and love. Yes, and Scoof is a great actor as well, very successful, and it's so great to see that we both followed our passion for the arts. And here we are. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Kenzie, can someone tell Spidey our podcast is tomorrow now? I'm going to call you after this, buddy. Hey, Spidey, when will you collaborate with Chase again? When I get back, it shouldn't be too long. We'll get him back on the channel. This life is so fun. Feels like hanging out with a friend. Thanks, man. Or woman, or I don't know, but thanks. Has Chris Ramsey made it to the show? No, we talked. He was thinking of coming out. I don't know if he will. Wes is coming soon. Don't know about Chris. And last one. The AGT act was mind-blowing. Yes, it was. Oh, you know what? We have 2 more questions I have to get because they were sent as comments. So I'll address those really quick as well. Oh, no. How do I? Serena. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But what's harder between an audience that is too quiet and non-reactive or one that is obnoxious and continuously loud and heckling? That's such a great question. So the second one doesn't really happen in a place like this because they've paid to come see the show, right? So unless they got like wasted at the bar before they came, or they got a free ticket maybe somehow, or they came with a group, mostly the people in the audience are people who paid money and are excited to be here. So they're not going to be obnoxious and heckly. You have your odd heckler here and there every now and then, but nothing we can't handle. But overall in my career, I would say that it's better to have a non-reactive audience because you could still kind of just get through your act and you're not fighting someone. Whereas audiences, back in the day when I used to do audiences that were like whether it was a bar or a college or something where they're very rowdy, it's really, really difficult. So I prefer personally a non-reactive audience because you can always work with them. You can always try your best and get them a little bit more reactive. There's something to be done there. And then Jenny asked, is this the first time you share the stage, and how do you balance it for the viewers? I can imagine that you are creating your performances so they're in a good sync for the audience, so they're not bored or overwhelmed. Singing a choir. Yeah, the song selection is really important. So great question. No, I've worked with groups before. I've worked with other magicians before, and it's really about the energy of the acts and working together. So as opposed to saying, I'm going to come out and do this, then you come out and do this, then you come out and do this, and it's everyone trying to be the best themselves, and that creates a disconnect. It's all about working together to elevate the show. So it's actually funny. I talked to Shin about this. I don't bring my highest energy imaginable on stage because I'm the host, and my job is to elevate the show and bring the attention to the show itself. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be a team player. So there are certain things that I have to do different than if it was my own show, where I have to hit that stage like Dynamite and be like, yeah, this is a Spidey show. This isn't. This is Limitless. And we're all working together to make it a special show. So that was it for me, you guys. Oh wait, there's a few more start. Okay, we'll take 4 more and then that's it, because we should all go enjoy our day. Any plans to cover any part of the Karen Reed trial? Chase has on the behavior panel, but I'd love to know your thoughts on a few of the participants. So, throughout my career and throughout YouTube and posting, there have been certain cases that I just fell back on and didn't feel like I can ever recover, and this was one of them. So as you guys know, I do deep dives. Like when I cover a topic, I want to know everything. And Karen Reed is just one where I missed the boat and it went by, and I know almost nothing about the case. So is there a chance that one day I'll dive into it? Maybe, I don't know. I'll never say never, but it's not something that I'm informed about and something that I feel I could comment on. So yeah, that's that, unfortunately, but maybe one day. Have you ever chosen a volunteer that was very hard to read, and what do you do when someone is hard to read? Yes, Sophia, great question. It has happened. So I pick someone. So it's not that they're hard to read, it's that they freeze up on stage. So I see them in the audience, they're engaged, they're reactive. I go, okay, this is a good one. Bring them up on stage and they just freeze up. They see the lights, they see the audience, and now there's nothing going on. So when that happens, either I kind of do less with them and then get someone else up, or I just stick to like the basic mentalism, just do the most basic version of the trick without any of the additional behavioral stuff, which to me is the real seasoning. But yeah, it happens. 2 more. Due to your background in reading behavior, is it easier for you to notice if someone is under the influence? So in Vegas, you don't need to be a behavioral analyst to know when someone's under the influence. You could definitely see it. And there's been times where we had people in the audience or even on stage, and it's Vegas. You just got to roll with the punches. My usual shows, it depends. Sometimes you can really see it. Sometimes you can't really tell if it's just someone who's eccentric or if it's the alcohol talking, But I avoid anything that's out of the ordinary as a general rule anyway, so it doesn't happen that often that I have to deal with that. Seeing you in Vegas this weekend. The ending was, thank you so much, Heather. It means the world. I'm glad you were there. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I'm glad you didn't spoil the ending. That's really good. Some people would have said, oh, the end when such and such happened, and you just ruin it for everyone else. But glad you were there. Glad you enjoyed it. And anyone else who plans on coming, reach out on Instagram or Facebook. I can't always meet because there are certain days where I have to go to the meet and greet or certain days where I have meetings. But if it's possible, I'll always do my best. This was awesome. Glad you guys were here for this. Listen, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, back on schedule. When I get back home, again, I might need just a few days just to decompress, kind of catalog the whole thing, and then we'll be back. So thank you for your patience with all this. Let me on this. Oh, there we go. Thank you for your patience with all of this and this stream that was a little chaotic because my setup here is not the one that I have at home. It was awesome to touch base with you guys. Glad you got to see a little bit of the show and little bits and clips. I'll leave this up for a while if you guys want to watch it again, or if you saw bits of it and you want to watch the whole thing. But awesome catching up. I'll see you guys soon. And if you're coming to Vegas, I'll see you there as well. Peace. Thank you. And yeah, see you in a couple of weeks.